The drama surrounding the Indiana Fever's latest loss didn't just play out on the scoreboard. It detonated under the weight of bad calls, missing stars, and simmering frustration that finally boiled over. What was supposed to be an easy win over one of the WNBA's worst teams turned into a bitter reminder of how much can go wrong, even for a team clawing its way into the spotlight. Stephanie White, known for her composure and command, didn't need a long speech to make her point. She gave the world 5 words that echoed louder than any whistle: "We didn't get the calls." Just days earlier, the Fever were on fire. They'd dismantled Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings. They'd outplayed the Minnesota Lynx to claim their first-ever Commissioner's Cup. And they'd humiliated Aya Wilson and the defending champion Las Vegas Aces. 3 statement wins, each more impressive than the last. Indiana was peaking. Momentum was on their side. And even with Caitlin Clark sidelined, this was supposed to be another routine win. On paper, it wasn't even close. ESPN's matchup predictor had the Fever at nearly 73% to win. Sportsbooks favored them by more than 6 points. After all, the Sparks were 5-17 and playing like it. But games aren't won on paper, and not in a league where officiating can flip a script in real time. Clark was out for the 5th straight game with a groin injury. The team had learned that morning that she wouldn't suit up. She was close, they said. Healing fast. Doing everything possible to return. But the Fever were taking no risks with their generational star. Prioritizing her long-term health was the responsible move. It just left a massive hole on the court. And that was only the beginning. Dairis Dantas was off representing Brazil in international play. Another absence. Another missing body. Then came a gut punch. Dana Evans had left the team entirely. No warning. No ceremony. 3 key players gone. Suddenly, Indiana was scrambling to fill rotations and plug gaps that simply couldn't be filled with duct tape and effort. Yet somehow, none of that seemed to matter, until it did. Even depleted, the Fever still had Aaliyah Boston. Still had Kelsey Mitchell. Still had Natasha Howard, who'd been playing some of the best basketball of her career. This wasn't a G League lineup trying to tread water. This was a playoff-caliber core missing its general, but still fully armed. They had the talent. They had the chemistry. They had just proven they could beat the best. But what they didn't have, on this night, was a fair chance. It didn't start badly. The Fever hung in early. Boston was physical and efficient. Mitchell was finding rhythm. Howard was doing what veterans do, providing calm, making smart reads, contributing on both ends. But without Clark orchestrating the offense, Indiana's pace slowed. The ball movement lacked its usual zip. Boston couldn't get enough touches to dominate. Players who thrived in narrowly defined roles were being asked to do more, and not all of them were ready. Even so, the Fever clawed. They kept it close. They had the talent to overcome it all. But then came the whistles. Sophie Cunningham was grabbed around the neck, literally. Everyone in the arena saw it. The replay was crystal clear. And yet, the refs called a jump ball. Moments later, she was thrown down again. No whistle. No protection. Just play on. Aaliyah Boston was whistled for phantom foul after phantom foul. She couldn't breathe near the paint without getting flagged. Meanwhile, Sparks players got away with elbows, slaps, body contact, nothing. The disparity was unmistakable. And as the 4th quarter wore on, the weight of it became unbearable. Mitchell hit big shots. Howard made key plays. Boston remained dominant. The Fever never stopped fighting. But every comeback attempt was sliced apart by whistles that felt personal, political, or plain wrong. McDonald had 2 fouls called on her where she barely moved. Timpson was hit and somehow got called for the foul herself. Howard took a shot across the face. No whistle. Then Plum elbowed Lexi Hull, stepped over her, and the refs, standing right there, did absolutely nothing. That wasn't basketball. That was chaos. And through it all, the Fever still almost won. Boston finished with 23 points and 12 rebounds, a monster night despite constant foul trouble. Mitchell poured in 19 and hit 3 huge threes. Howard added 21 and 9, shooting 72% from the field. That trio alone could have won this game. Should have won this game. But they weren't just playing the Sparks. They were playing the officiating. Stephanie White watched it all unfold from the sideline. She saw her stars work through exhaustion, grind through adversity, and deliver everything they had, only to be undercut by a system that refused to give them a fair shot. In the post-game press conference, she sat down, looked at the microphones, and told the truth with chilling restraint. "We didn't get the calls." That's it. That's all she needed to say. 5 words. Nothing more. Nothing less. The subtext carried everything. We played hard. We did our jobs. We were the better team. But we weren't allowed to win. For Fever fans, it was the exclamation point on a night full of outrage. They'd seen it. They'd shouted at their screens. They'd watched their team claw its way back, only to be buried beneath bad officiating. But this wasn't just about one game. This was about a pattern. All season long, the Fever have had to fight against more than just opponents. Boston has been in foul trouble repeatedly on questionable calls. Clark, when she plays, gets hammered without consequence. Other stars in the league get every ticky-tack whistle. The officiating inconsistency is more than frustrating. It's impacting the outcomes. And yet, here's the most incredible part. This loss, as painful as it was, proved just how good this Fever team really is. No Clark. No Dantas. No Evans. And they still nearly won. Against a hungry team playing with nothing to lose. Against referees who seemed to be wearing blindfolds and whistles made of bias. Against every momentum swing, every unjust foul, every missed call, Indiana still had a shot to win. Boston has already proven she can anchor a team. Her presence in the paint is elite. She's putting up MVP-caliber numbers despite being handcuffed by foul trouble nearly every night. Mitchell is stepping into a leadership role with poise, maturity, and volume. In Clark's absence, she's averaging over 21 points per game. And Howard brings a championship mentality that you simply can't teach. This young core has taken more punches than any team should be expected to absorb, and they're still standing. Not just standing. Growing. The team's chemistry is forming in fire. Their leadership is being forged in adversity. The bitter taste of this loss is going to fuel their next run. And make no mistake, another run is coming. Clark is close. She's already doing drills and shooting. Coach White won't rush her back, but if her recovery continues on track, she could return in the upcoming showdown with the Golden State Valkyries. That's when things get dank up the way she did. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown like this one. The road to redemption for the Indiana Fever is just beginning. And when they rise,